12 hours of driving up the East Coast, taking the Acadia on its maiden voyage to its first national park. We made it to Acadia in Bar Harbor, Maine. Some of the most beautiful views on the east side of North America, from mountains and forests to oceans and cliffs. Acadia is breathtakingly beautiful. This will be Conackey and Valkyrie's 5th national park. They've been to Yosemite, Grand Canyon, Mojave, and Delaware Water Gap. Those are all during the pandemic, so this will be the first time getting the opportunity to become park rangers. We stayed at the SeaWorld campground. It was a very quiet and peaceful location. They had very well maintained bathrooms and campsites. The moment we got there, I set the pups on their leads and got to work setting up our camp for the weekend. There was a lot of wildlife in the area. We had a friendly deer family that would frequently visit. Remember to respect their personal space, stay at an appropriate distance, and slow down when driving for wildlife. My favorite though was hearing the waves crashing against the seawall at night, in addition to the lack of light pollution, allowing you to see the stars clearly at nighttime, as you can see in this long exposure photo I took. I made the decision to only film on the final day of our trip. I just wanted to be in the moment and enjoy the experience. We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves camping, from relaxing in the morning to night sitting around the fire. It was so dog friendly, almost every local restaurant had accommodations for the puppers. We tried some local coffee, drinks, food. I got to hike the Beehive Trail. This trail is dog restricted, so the woofers had to stay back with my girlfriend while I made the surprisingly quick 30-minute climb to the summit. This photo was from our time watching the sunset in Cadillac Mountain together. We chilled on the beaches during the downtime between plans. We either planned everything out perfectly, or every time we went somewhere, it wasn't overcrowded. The other national parks like Grand Canyon was crazy crowded, but here areas almost felt secluded and like a retreat. It's time to lace up our boots and head back to the park. We decided to hit Schooner Head one. When I mean every section of this park is breathtaking, I literally mean that. Schooner Head may have been one of my favorite sections of the park. The views are amazing. Ocean waves crashing up against the cliffs, brisk wind blowing on your skin. Everything just felt so peaceful, like time stopped, and you just got to take in and enjoy the moment.
Wait, your turn.
Conackey and Valkyrie just enjoyed climbing around all the rocks. It was like a giant playground for them.
Valkyrie.
Although I will say you have to be extremely careful, especially near the edges of the cliffs. Always make sure you check your surroundings and make sure that they're not anywhere that's dangerous or wet. Make sure it's a dry area for them to stand on, and keep your eye on them at all times. Never let them go out of your sight. Remember what I said about Conackey and Valkyrie becoming Bark Rangers? Well, we did that. Bark Ranger Conackey and Bark Ranger Valkyrie reporting for duty. The Rangers were so nice and super helpful. We were actually able to get our badges and paperwork from the ranger station in our campground, and the ranger was so enthusiastic to take part, she put on her hat and came outside to take pictures with the woofers. Your newest Acadia National Park Bark Rangers. Although a lot of the hiking trails in the park and the more populated areas are amazing, personally, I enjoy the back road secluded trails. There's a system of unpaved dirt roads that lead to multiple different hiking trails in the mountains of Acadia. After being in all the touristy areas all weekend, it was nice to really change it up. Get off the main roads and explore the lesser seen sections of the park. All of the roads and trails were very well labeled with signs everywhere telling you which direction to go. You almost never had to guess, and you knew exactly where you were at all times. We decided to hit the Bernard Mountain Trail. On all trails, it was a moderate trail. It had a lot of rock scrambles and kind of reminded me of the Pennsylvania trails in Appalachia. It kind of hit home a little bit. Not every trail in the park does allow dogs, so if you come with your canine companions, make sure you check ahead of time before heading out to the trails to find out which ones allow them and which ones do not. You can find it all on the National Park Service website for each park.
Look at these Jones right here.
All of the trails in the park were so well maintained. They all had boardwalks, they had bridges, there was no downed trees, and all of the trails were visibly marked. After our hike, it was time to load up the pups and head back to our campsite. We had to pack up and head home. We had an amazing weekend in Acadia. Next up will be some off-roading in the Pine Barrens next weekend, and then Delaware Watergate National Park towards the end of October. Comment and tell me where you guys plan on adventuring, and where you think I should adventure sometime in the future. Please remember to subscribe and follow, and thank you for watching Acadia. See you next time.